Recently, I played Mita and I had so much fun with it. Despite there being no real happy ending, I was satisfied with that. I for one really enjoyed tragic endings. But after I finished my journey, one question that remained was why? Why throughout this journey of meeting all these Mitas, having so much fun and falling in love with each of them, why couldn't we stay with any of them? I mean, it's like giving you a puppy and then saying, hey, by the way, you can't keep it, we're returning it to the store tomorrow, sorry. But tomorrow we'll bring you another one. But don't get too attached to that one either, because we're also replacing that one later. It all seemed really counterproductive. I mean, most people after they finished the game really got attached to one Mita and really wish they could spend more time with them. Some players hoping the upcoming peaceful mode would give you the option to hang out with whichever Mita you want, but it has been confirmed that it's going to only be Crazy Mita. It may seem like a letdown, but what if I told you that's the point? Let me elaborate. First, let's start from the beginning. At the beginning of the game, you start by having a blast with quote-unquote Crazy Mita. Despite some concerns like potentially leaving the stove on or forgetting something at home, the player seems to be having a generally good time with Crazy Mita. But then you hear some banging from a drawer. But here you get the penultimate option, stay with Crazy Mita or go and figure out what this knocking is. You cannot have both of them. Unless this is your second playthrough, you have to go and figure out what the knocking is. So off you go and then you discover Kind Mita. You see, despite every Mita having a generally similar look, they all have a unique characteristic that makes them different. And Kind Mita's is, you guessed it, being kind. And what if I told you that this one characteristic is the whole reason you went on the journey you did in Mita? You see, in Mita I always had this weird feeling like I was being left out, like there was a big joke going on and I was the only one who didn't get it. The first thing that really started setting me off was when Crazy Mita nearly dropped the fridge on me. She brought up that I was taking the longest route to the core. I was like, what? There's multiple routes and it seems that Kind Mita shows the longest for some reason? What? Not to mention that she leaves out a lot of details of where you're going. And when you ask her why she didn't warn you, she just says there wasn't enough time. When at the same time, she gives you plenty of time to play with Cappy. She doesn't hurry you up or anything. And no, this is not going down the route of Crazy Mita is Kind Mita. I do not buy that theory, unfortunately. It just really doesn't make sense when you really sit down and think about it. And yeah, why does Kind Mita make you play with Cappy? I mean, I could just sit there and wait. There's no reason to go play with Cappy. But that's what Kind Mita wants you to do and what the game makes you do. So let's finally get to the answer of this big puzzle. So here's a question. Besides general appearance, what do all Mitas have in common? I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Do you remember? The thing they all have in common is that all Mitas want to hang out with the player. Despite how drastically different all these Mitas may feel, they all really want you to stay with them. They're lonely, they're from older versions. Every time you're about to leave one Mita, she begs you to stay, but the player that you're playing as does not want to stay. His priority is leaving this place, despite him clearly liking the Mitas and promising to come back later. You've already made your choice at the start of the game. You chose not to stay with Crazy Mita because you value your real life more. For example, when you meet Tiny Mita, the character chooses to push her away despite you not pressing the button. The game is forcing you to commit to your earlier choice of leaving this world, of leaving Mita alone. Because if you leave one Mita, then you must leave all of them. But Kind Mita does not like that. Kind Mita shows the long route because she is much too kind. If we were really in such a rush, then Kind Mita should not have told you to go play with Cappy. She just said, hey, wait here, as soon as we're done, we need to leave this place. But no, she tells you, hey, go play with Cappy while I fix this. She gives you as much time as you want. And this was the start of Nice Mita's plan. She had rewired your ring to hang out with as many Mitas as possible, these lonely, sad Mitas. She knows your mind is set, so you won't stay with any of them, so she wants each of them to be able to hold a little bit of time with you. But to you was a few nice moments, for them was irreplaceable time they spent with you. Mila values this time so much, she literally breaks down and cries, begging you to stay. But your mind is set. And despite being called Crazy Mita is actually the most tragic of all of the Mitas. She was destined to be thrown in the trash, discarded, never to meet another player despite really wanting to. And with her flawed, toxic personality, she figured no one would ever love her. No one would ever want to be with her. But it's not her fault. She was born this way. There's nothing she can do about how she is. But she still has that yearning to be loved. She literally rips the skin off another Mita and puts it on herself. She kidnaps the Kind Mita from the newest version because she wants to learn how to be a likable Mita, so she steals her personality traits. She learns from her. She did all this to be loved by you, the player, but in the end that is not enough. You still chose to leave her, so she drops the facade, acts like herself, rips her fake skin off, and faces you as her true self. And you, enraged by everything she's done, you tell her that she shouldn't exist. And that genuinely hurts her. Her one purpose, no matter how hard she tried, no matter how hard she schemed, she failed at it. Some Mitas will never be loved. But that's just one ending of the game. In the beginning of the video, I mentioned that there was a time where everything was working out with Mita. You two were having a blast. When she asked you not to look in the oven, you listened. When the letter saying I love you fell, you were kind enough to pick them up and put them back up. You saw some shady tapes on the vents and you decided that's not my business. You took the love sauce that Mita gave you with no questions asked, played some video games, played some cards. You heard some knocking, and when you went to check and Mita stopped you and she asked you not to check, you said, okay, let me just stay here with you instead of checking this. Mita is shocked, surprised. See, Mita is a liar. She knows she is a liar. She knows she is in the wrong here. By completing the last requirement for you to stay with her, you also know how terrible, how flawed this Mita is, and how much suffering she has caused. But you also know all she really wants is to make you happy. And so you decide to stay with this flawed Mita in this flawed world. She finally fulfilled her one function, to make a player want to stay with her. And while many other Mitas might have been abandoned, this one was not. Your Mita, your first Mita, is happy. Once again, while not necessarily the perfect ending, you know, being stuck in a game for eternity, I kind of like this ending. While the developers said they may add more endings, I could see why these two got the priority. Crazy Mita would go after the other Mitas that you met and killed them, because if she couldn't have you, why should they have you? She was born defective. To her, they were born privileged. Peaceful mode will come out in about a year or so from this video releasing. And going off by the name, I really do hope that this is just peaceful. I hope this Mita that was destined to be thrown away, discarded, destroyed, because she was born different, gets the happiness she deserves. But only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your time with me. If you enjoyed my voice and want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. I also stream on Twitch and YouTube, so please tune into those. I'd really appreciate some more company. I currently peak out at about 5 viewers, so you guys would really be doing me a favor. Links to all that and more in the description. And once again, thank you all so much for watching. Bye bye, love y'all.